Hello and welcome to Read to Succeed, title selections to build young reader interest and growth. I'm Julia Smith, Booklist's Book for Youth Senior Editor. Before we begin, I'd like to go over some technical details. Today's slide presentation and title list were included in the reminder email you received from Zoom 1 hour ago. To download them, please open that email, scroll to the bottom, and click on the links located there. You can also download the slides and title list by typing the URLs on this screen into your web browser. If you have any trouble, please contact us at webinars@booklistonline.com. The audience is in listen-only mode, but we welcome any questions you may have. On the bottom of your screen is a toolbar with a selection for Q&A. If you have a question or need technical assistance, simply click Q&A and type your message into the box that appears. We will do our best to respond to all tech-related questions, and we'll pass along all other questions to today's panelists so they can follow up with you after the webinar. Booklist offers closed captioning on all webinars. To enable or disable them on your screen, please look for and click the Show Captions icon on the toolbar mentioned earlier. If you choose to enable subtitles, you can adjust the size of them at any time by selecting Caption Settings. And finally, Booklist expects all participants to maintain an atmosphere of respect and fairness. Anyone who violates this standard of behavior, including engaging in any form of harassment, may, at the discretion of the organizers, be immediately removed. Today, we have the pleasure of hearing from Kristen Pozzoli, Marketing Director, Library and Education Markets at DK, Shelby Jenkins, Marketing and Publicity Coordinator at Cherry Lake Publishing Group, Catherine Camisa, Marketing Director at The Child's World, Laura Lutz, School and Library Marketing Manager at Hachette Book Group, and Ellen Myrick, Founder and President of Publisher Spotlight. We will kick things off with Kristen Pozzoli. Kristen is Director of Marketing for the Education and Library Markets at DK and is proud to also be a licensed librarian in the state of New York. She's been a member of the DK team for more than 11 years, and during that time has worked on a little bit of everything: children's, adult, travel, and even licensing books across all market segments. As an avid reader and a lifelong learner herself, Kristen's favorite part of her current role is the privilege to affect a love of reading in children from a very young age. Thank you for being here, Kristen.
Thank you so much, Julia. And hi, everyone. I'm delighted to be joining you today to touch on the most library-friendly decodable book offerings DK has on our list, many of which will fall under our Phonic Books sub-brand for those of you who are already familiar. Let's kick things off by focusing on some high-low titles for tween and teen struggling readers. These next few titles are focused on morphology. But what is morphology? Morphology is the study of words and how they are formed using the smallest units of meaning. This includes prefixes, suffixes, and root words. Books that focus on morphology provide an essential bridge between truly decodable books in just a couple of minutes and mainstream chapter books. Morphology practice is hugely important for improving spelling and reading comprehension. So that brings us to our first very well-received series offering in this regard, Against the Odds. This is your I Survive series, but with a unique morphology twist, perfect for struggling readers ages 10 to 14 who still are not up to grade level. As you can see, the trades have equated these titles to exactly that. I survived. So I promise I'm not just saying it. As that second review quote there says, purchase where readers devour the I Survived series. Just like I Survived, Against the Odds is inspired by true events, with each title unraveling the extraordinary experiences of young people overcoming incredible challenges. So far, we have Animal Attacks, San Francisco Earthquake 1906, Pompeii, Crashed, Hurricane Katrina, and Winter Whiteouts, with Titanic to come this October. There are even more to come in 2027 and beyond, so continue to watch out for more Against the Odds. I should mention that though I only have the hardcover ISBNs listed there under the jackets, these books are also available in trade paperback editions. And here I've included a couple of spreads so you can get an idea of these books' complexity. As you can see, the interiors are completely black and white and do include a mix of both text and illustration. The goal is one that I believe this series very successfully achieves. Kids who are a bit behind in their reading skills will not be embarrassed to take this book out of the library and out of their backpack. To be honest, I can't wait to see how well this next Mount Olympus Mysteries Morphology Focus series does as it begins to gain traction in the market. Because if the world thinks Against the Odds is cool, I think this series is even cooler and even less embarrassing for an older struggling reader to be carrying around with them. Each book in this series, Apollo and the Lost Sun, is available now, and Athena and the Stolen Threads, coming in July, follows a group of teenage demigods who did not inherit any godlike powers. However, they prove useful to the gods by solving mysteries and problems in ancient Greece. The characters must overcome self-doubt and discover their skills, even though they may be disappointed that, quote, powers haven't come easily to them. Apollo and the Lost Sun focuses on verb endings like s, es, ed, and ing, adverbs ending in ly, comparatives, and superlatives. And Athena and the Stolen Threads focuses on noun suffixes. These are available in paperback and hardcover, as well as ebook and audiobook. Be sure to check them out. Now, we're going to transition to more traditional decodable books, but still stay in the realm of high-low resources that serve those kids who are not reading at level. This is Suncats 1, the first in a series of high-low decodable graphic novels intended for kids ages 9+ who are still at the very early stages of learning to read. The Suncats series is truly engaging and presents kids with the adventures of a diverse group of teenage friends on a skateboarding team called the Suncats. The books are available in hardcover, paperback, and ebook formats. Suncats 1 includes 8 chapters bound into one graphic novel format, and each chapter practices the initial sounds of the alphabet at consonant, vowel, consonant, or CVC level text. Suncats 2 includes 6 chapters, with each one introducing VCE spellings, or vowel, consonant, silent E spellings in a gradual way. And now I am going to highlight our newest high-low decodable reader sets from DK's Phonic Books decodable book line for kids ages 8 to 14+, who, again, are still at the very early stages of learning to read successfully. Note, though, that we have a vast offering of truly decodable reader sets, both for kids in grades K to 2 who are learning to read on time, and for kids in grades 3 and above who are struggling. Because these reader sets are shrink-wrapped packs that only have one ISBN for the entirety of the pack, they are often difficult for libraries to catalog and shelve. but some librarians haven't let this stop them and have gotten really creative. So if you're one of those librarians or would like to be, you can check out our complete catalog at phonicbooks.com. That's PHONIC, no S, BOOKS.com. So for now, I'm just going to quickly highlight our newest undertaking with these shrink-wrapped reader sets. The Fact Files is our first non-fiction line of truly decodable books for the catch-up readers, meaning that about 90% of all words within are truly decodable, and that they fall into that high-low category of being engaging and age-appropriate for kids ages 8+. Currently, two 12-book nonfiction catch-up sets are available, with another 10-book set coming this June. These sets are scaffolded within the series, taking readers from CVC and CVCC text through to adjacent consonants, consonant digraphs, alternative spellings for vowel sounds, and suffixes. Each book within each set also contains a knowledge builder spread, which is not decodable, to help build vocabulary and comprehension as well as cultural capital. And each reader set across the complete catalog of Phonic Books offerings has a photocopyable activity book that can be purchased alongside it for ease of additional practice and implementation within the library, classroom, and at home. Because these activity books are photocopyable, they are certainly library friendly. I mentioned previously that our shrink-wrapped reader sets are not ideal for library cataloging and shelving. So we have bound some of our best-selling sets into single hardcover books for ease in this regard. Currently, we have 3 reader bind-ups available for K2 level students and 6 reader bind-ups available for students who are struggling in grades 3 and above. Be sure to check them out if you're interested in acquiring decodable reader sets for your collection without any hassle. 6 of our library bind-up decodable reader sets are also now available as Playaway Wonder Books. For those of you not familiar, the Wonder Book format is a print book paired with a ready-to-play audiobook inside. These phonics-focused Wonder Books have 2 audio settings. In phonics mode, listeners sound out key vocabulary words, phonemes, and graphemes from the text alongside their instructor. In read-along mode, kids will hear a traditional narration experience, guiding them on proper pacing, pronunciation, expression, and fluency. Be sure to check these out. And last, but certainly not least, this is an essential tool for supporting the educators in your community. The Structured Literacy Playbook, which will allow educators working to implement phonics-based literacy instruction in their classrooms to do so with ease. As educators deepen their knowledge of evidence-based literacy practices, the Structured Literacy Playbook will offer the resources necessary to build critical fluency and comprehension skills through lessons that weave phonics concepts into vocabulary and book reading activities. The authors are all licensed and experienced researchers and educators in the literacy space. Melissa Orkin, PhD, Sarah Gannon, Master of Education, and Alexandria Osborne, Master of Science in Education. These ladies make up the staff of the literacy company Crafting Minds, in case you're familiar. And even better, the strategies outlined in this text utilize specific Phonic Books decodable texts to make everything as easy and accessible as possible for educators. It all goes hand in hand. That's all I have for you today. If you're interested in anything I've presented here this afternoon, please follow Phonic Books on Instagram or Facebook and find our complete catalog of decodable focused offerings on Phonic without the S, not phonics, phonicbooks.com. Thank you so much for your attention and for all you do to advance literacy and reading within your communities.
Thank you so much, Kristen. We'll now hear from Shelby Jenkins. Shelby has worked in marketing and publicity for children's books for 3 years now, joining Cherry Lake Publishing Group full-time following the completion of her undergraduate studies at the University of Michigan. She is passionate about ensuring students have the tools they need to fall in love with and find joy in reading. She is based in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Thank you for joining us, Shelby. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Julia, and thank you all so much for being here today. I'm so excited to share some of the work our authors and editors have been doing lately. For those of you who are less familiar with us, Cherry Lake Publishing Group is an acclaimed children's publisher based out of Ann Arbor, Michigan. We publish titles that not only meet the needs of school and library markets, but also training gift markets. So our catalogs of books range from decodable readers to series nonfiction to picture books to middle grade novels. We do a little bit of everything. This past December, we were so excited to become a Random House children's book company as well. We care deeply about the readers we want to reach and spend a lot of time thinking about how do we create books that don't only help kids learn to read, but fall in love with reading. It's likely that some of you are familiar with our award-winning trade imprint, Sleeping Bear Press. For almost 3 decades now, Sleeping Bear has remained focused on creating quality children's books on every level. In fact, just yesterday, we celebrated the release of Meadows of the Sea, The Wonders of Seagrass by the incredible Michelle Schaub. And we're so excited to share that this title has earned a starred review, not only from Kirkus, but School Library Journal as well. It really goes to show how much effort we put into creating beautiful picture books that provide opportunities for children to explore the world in educational, library, and home settings. So Cherry Lake Publishing Group has a number of imprints that serve various purposes on the school and library side. Cherry Blossom Press is for the earliest readers. The titles in this imprint feature decodable text and utilize fundamental literary skills that kickstart students' reading journey. The foundation of our Cherry Blossom imprint is our Little Blossom stories. These decodables series uses compelling fiction with an authentic narrative art to build key reading skills. These are 16-page stories published in paperback format and written at a preschool reading level. This past fall, we added 8 new titles to supplement our already very extensive library, just offering educators even more opportunities to reinforce foundation literary skills. This series was created by the incredible Dr. Cecilia Minden. She's a literary consultant and the former director of the Language and Literacy program at the Harvard Graduate School of Education. She is an absolute joy to work with. And if any of you joined us in Minneapolis for the PLA conference earlier this month, you may have seen what we rolled out as our new Road to Reading program in collaboration with Mackin Educational Resources. This is our new decodable-based program for public libraries, but even more specifically for parents who come into public libraries looking to help their kids get started reading. With over 180 titles in our Little Blossom Story series alone, it's clear how long we've been in the decodable game, but as phonics-based methods of teaching have begun to gain speed, we ask ourselves, how can we assist librarians in effectively communicating to parents how to use our tools? And Mackin was the answer. Mackin has been a terrific partner as we continue to communicate these tools to parents. The official program launches May 1st, so just in a short couple of weeks, and I encourage you all to stop by myroadtoreading.com to see how perfectly our tools have blended with Mackin's structure to create easy systems for librarians and families. And also to mention, as part of the Fiction Series Made Simple program last fall, School Library Journal reviewed our Little Blossom stories and called it a strong entry into the decodable books categories. Another decodable offering from Cherry Blossom Press is our nonfiction Learn About Animals series. This spring, we added 6 titles to the collection for a total of 10 books now. Like our Little Blossom stories, these are 16-page paperback books. The Learn About Animals series is written at a slightly older kindergarten reading level. Each book in this series fits into a structured sequence of skills, supporting independent reading, reteaching, and formative fluency assessments. Each title has those bold, colorful photographs that you see that guide readers through the text. Like our Little Blossom stories, these were created by Cecilia Minden. And SLJ has an upcoming review in their nonfiction series Made Simple program that features these titles as well. For slightly older elementary students, Cherry Lake Press offers opportunities for kids to explore their natural curiosity through fun nonfiction topics like animals, vehicles, technologies, gaming, and more and more and more. Our titles continue to evolve to meet the changing needs of the academic world while always remaining aligned with curriculum guideposts. As students grow and evolve, our titles grow with them. We know that the demand for resources that encourage career exploration remains high, and Cherry Lake is rising to meet that need. This spring, we wrapped up our Career Ready Kids series with the addition of 2 titles for a total of 8 in this series. These books are 24-pagers aimed at students in grades 2 through grades 5. They're based on the National Career Clusters framework, and they offer opportunities for career exploration with fun, age-appropriate projects and programming. This past January, the series received a starred review from Booklist as part of their series nonfiction showcase. SLJ also reviewed the series as part of their nonfiction series Made Simple program this past fall. Cherry Lake also continues to expand our offerings that celebrate Indigenous culture and history. This spring, we added 6 titles to our Indigenous Peoples of North America series. These books invite readers to explore the culture, histories, and present-day lives of major tribal nation and cultural groups across both Canada and the US. It is super important to us that this series center authentic voices. So not only was it written by an incredible Indigenous author, historian, and public scholar, Heather Brugel, but throughout the creation of the series, our editors made contact with tribal members from each of these groups who served as content reviewers and provided the photographs you'll see on the covers and interior spreads. Each title also has a Say Hello feature, which teaches readers how to greet each other in the Indigenous language. Booklist gave the first 6th installment of this series a starred review in their April 2025 issue, but is once again being featured in their top 10 series nonfiction roundup in May and is receiving a review in their June series nonfiction showcase. Another really exciting series from our spring 2026 season are our brand new Daring Missions and Math books. These are 24-page books with grades 3 through 5 that take readers on high-stakes adventures where math is the key to discovery. These 5 titles apply real-world situations and align with Common Core state standards for mathematics, making math practice fun and accessible for kids. Each title includes database math problems with answer guides in the back of the book. School Library Journal called this series an engaging way to apply math skills, which I couldn't agree with more. And Booklist also noted that teachers and parents will welcome this solid, entertaining approach to practice and applying math concepts. Fungi Power is a new series from our 2026 season that we found librarians are particularly excited and interested in. These 6 32-page titles for grades 4 through 8 explore the fascinating world of fungi innovation. Each title has stunning visuals that showcase cutting-edge innovation and engage readers in the way that researchers are harnessing the power of fungi. This series also received a glowing review from SLJ that will be included in their April nonfiction series Made Simple program, and noted that the series would do well on public library shelves. Booklist will also be featuring a review of these titles in their upcoming May series nonfiction showcase. Cherry Lake Publishing Group prides itself on the time we've spent fine-tuning our high-low offerings. Just as the 45th parallel marks a halfway point between the equator and the North Pole, 45th Parallel Press meets students where they are on their reading journey, with age-appropriate, high-interest topics written at foundational reading levels. We know how important it is to create high-low series that engage the generation of kids who lost out on their foundational literacy education due to COVID. Directed by market feedback, conversations with educators and libraries, and extensive trial design, our 45th Parallel Press imprint continues to evolve with every passing season to help correct that literacy epidemic. From our spring 2026 season, our brand new Weird Science of the Human Body, the Breakdown series, is designed to help students grasp important concepts while building those foundational reading skills. The Breakdown collection, which began with Weird Space Science, the Breakdown, and now has grown to include Weird Animal Science, the Breakdown, and Weird Science of the Human Body, the Breakdown, provides additional support to those really struggling readers. These 24-page books are written at a grade 2 reading level, but target struggling readers in grades 5 through 8, and have a sizing and format of a book intentionally designed for middle grade students. Each Breakdown series layers decoding strategies with comprehensive skills to build content knowledge in accessible ways. So this series really creates an opportunity for the exploration of core science concepts, while also allowing space for older struggling readers to fine-tune those foundational reading skills. This series was called a must-buy in a review from School Library Journal that will be included in April, and really hits the nail on the head, I think. These could not be more perfect for struggling readers. Finally, from our spring 2026 season comes the 8-title Shred It series. These 32-page books have that traditional, highly designed and engaging high-low feel, with the text still written at grade 2 while engaging struggling readers in 4 through 8. Shredded explores the detailed history of some of the most adrenaline-fueled and crazy extreme sports that I would not want to try myself, from BMX to snowboarding and extreme rock climbing. Dynamic visuals and engaging photographs support middle grade readers as they build fluency and stamina and literacy skills. This series will be reviewed in May's Booklist Series Nonfiction Showcase. And of course, before I wrap up, I have to give you guys a little quick sneak peek of what's coming for Cherry Lake Publishing Group this fall. We're really focusing on expanding our Cherry Blossom collections with 10 new Blooding Blossom stories. So these will be used prior to Little Blossom stories. They're that first step before independent reading. And the full collection will have 20 after this season. From Cherry Lake Press, we have our brand new That Stinks series, exploring the science behind why armpits trash certain foods and some plants and animals just reek, which is going to be a hoot. And we have a handful of new things from our 45th Parallel Press imprint. The K-pop Sensation series explores the behind-the-scenes element of the global phenomenon that just keeps going and going. Our Gods and Goddesses of Ancient Greek is an 8-title series whose stunning covers and kind of magazine-esque interiors we think are going to be super attention-grabbing for struggling readers. And Floored Off-Road is an expansion of our Floored Supercars series that is really sure to do well with any car fanatic. As always, our series are available through whatever library wholesaler of your choice, and you can visit cherrylakepublishing.com to order directly through our wonderful customer service team. And if you have any specific questions about ordering, of course, drop them in the chat, and we're happy to follow up with you guys. And we are just so appreciative of your time today, and we really look forward to helping you expand your collections.
Thank you so much, Shelby. Next up, Catherine Camisa. Catherine brings more than 15 years of experience in children's publishing and is committed to helping every child discover books that engage and inspire them. Take it away, Catherine.
Hi, everyone. I'm delighted to be here to share our new series. But before we get started, I'll tell you a little bit about the Child's World. We've been around since 1968, and our goal has always remained very simple. We want all children to truly enjoy reading and learning, and all of the books that we publish are created with this goal in mind. And everything you see here today is available now and ready to order, and we publish in reinforced library binding as well as ebooks. And with that, we'll get started. And first, we have our Read and Explore series. This is a 12-title series written at a 4th grade reading level. The interest is 3rd through 6th, and they're 32 pages. And we were asked for a higher grade decodables because so many students are still reading below level. And so this series delivers exactly that, engaging high-interest topics, perfect for 4th and 5th grade readers, and paired with that controlled text that reinforces essential phonics skills. And this series was written using the research-based model from the University of Florida Literacy Institute. So it follows the science of reading and has been created with a clear phonics skill progression across the series, which I'll walk through in just a moment. And so I'd like to start by going through sort of the layout and the features. Right at the start, there is a clear call out on the table of contents page that highlights the phonics skills that readers will encounter throughout the book. And so that will prime them, they'll prime readers. And like you can see on that top example where it says, as you read, look for those R-controlled vowels. That's exactly what I mean. Each book also utilizes careful use of spelling patterns, sight words, and controlled sentence structure to support reading success. There's also vibrant photographs that bring facts to life. High interest did you know callouts will deliver fast, sticky facts that keep readers engaged. Infographics and charts reinforce visual literacy skills by teaching students how to read, compare, and interpret information alongside that text. Such as the bottom example there, looking at those shark size variations with that compact car as that familiar reference point for readers. Targeted word lists highlight the specific phonics skill each title focuses on. And as I mentioned, each book teaches these skills in a clear progression, so we created a flyer that shows exactly where each title fits along the path, according to the science of reading. So it'll start with short vowels through the reinforcement of advanced affixes. And then Booklist does have this flyer, and you'll receive it with your materials, or it'll be available with the materials from the webinar. And this series helps close that reading gap and reinforces essential phonics skills in an engaging way. Then we have our Animals Biggest and Smallest. It's an 8-book series. It's written at a 2nd grade level, interest K to 3, and they're 24 pages. And of course, millions of different kinds of animals live on our planet, and some are so small you can barely see them, while others are bigger than you can imagine. And this series highlights the tiniest and most massive creatures in a variety of animal families. And of course, animal titles never go out of demand, they're always popular. And this series features a playful comparison approach that kids will love. And each book begins with an engaging full color photography. There's also a map that showcases where each of the big and small representative species live. Informative sidebars provide additional fun facts. There's also these really wonderful age-appropriate infographics for visual learners, such as this one from the bottom, which is from the reptiles book, that's looking at the size differences between a crocodile, a nano-chameleon, and a 10-year-old child as a reference point. And every book contains a size variation diagram. There are also some great extended learning resources in the back matter. Each of these books contains a Wonder More section with critical thinking questions, discussion prompts, and writing exercises to strengthen learning. This series also has an activity for learning beyond the book and putting these ideas into practice. So this series really showcases the animal kingdom size extremes in an exciting and engaging way for readers to explore the wonders of wildlife. Next, we have our Superstar Biographies series. This is an 8-book set written at a third grade level. It's interest second through fifth, and they're 32 pages. And this series introduces readers to well-known stars who have persevered and found success. And each book showcases a star's upbringing and rise to stardom. Large, colorful photographs accompany that high interest text, and primary source material brings authenticity. As you can see from the example at the top from the Taylor Swift book, it starts with, in her or his own words, if it was a different subject, it has a clear lead in, there's a quote, and then the full attribution that's giving voice to the subject in their own words. Informative sidebars add extra context, while infographics highlight key achievements, like this example showcasing Ariana Grande's top awards. In the back matter, a fast facts section provides key takeaway information about that person, and a one stride further section with questions and exercises to encourage critical thinking. So a really dynamic biography series that's featuring individuals kids know and want to read about. Next, I'd like to share our Countries Around the World series. This is a 12-book set. It's written at a third grade level, interest second through fifth, and 32 pages. And we're also adding to the 12 titles to this series, and they will be available in August. And each book introduces children to what it's like to grow up, play, eat, and celebrate in a particular place, with a focus on community, diversity, and caring for the planet. And there is a scrapbook motif design inside with this sort of spiral binding appearance, but this is just a design element. All of these books are in reinforced library binding. In the books, kids will get a big picture geography and country level detail, first as a world map for orientation, then a bold enlarged map of the country for detail. High interest did you know sidebars stand out visually and help break up the main text for easier reading. And readers will explore hands-on activities like recipes or crafts, or as in this example on the top, learn some simple words in the country's official language. A 2-page facts spread provides key details about the country, its flag, official language, currency, and more, along with highlights like some of the famous people, the national song, and a piece of folklore. So this series really takes young readers on an exciting journey across the globe to discover the people, places, and customs that make each country unique. Next, we have our constellations. This is 8 books written at a 4th grade reading level, interest 2 to 5, and 32 pages. And I'd like to just pause here and highlight the covers. They contain that true star chart layout, and then there's overlaid with a dynamic illustration that brings the constellation's namesake to life. And for thousands of years, people have noticed patterns in the night sky and created stories about them. And this series introduces some of those best-known constellations visible in the night sky. Each book features illustrations and photographs, and each book begins with a general astronomical overview of the constellation before diving into the myths associated with it. And a constellation map appears in each book, as well as informative sidebars that add depth and context. Infographics visually depict important topics. In the back matter, there is a fast facts section with key takeaway information about the constellation, along with a one stride further section with questions and exercises to encourage critical thinking. It's a really appealing, high interest series that explores constellations through the lens of both science and history. And last, we have our Laugh Out Loud series. This is 6 books. It's written at that first grade level. Interest is K to 3, and they're 24 pages, and it's built specifically for early readers. And kids delight in making each other laugh. And so this series is packed full of age and reading level appropriate jokes that are sure to have kids laughing out loud. And each book features dynamic full-color illustrations, and the jokes are delivered in a familiar Q&A or knock-knock style kids instantly recognize. High interest Did You Know sidebars deliver quick nonfiction facts tied to the theme. So in addition to practicing their reading skills, children are learning some great facts as well. So it's perfect for new readers. This playful joke book series combines easy to read text with age-appropriate humor for nonstop giggles. And thank you, everyone. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Catherine. We'll now hear from Laura Lutz. Laura is the School and Library Marketing Manager for Workman Running Press Group. Prior to working in publishing, she was a school librarian in New York City for 8 years and also worked in public libraries across the country. Laura served on both the 2022 Caldecott Award and the 2017 Newbery Award committees. She has also reviewed books for the New York Times and School Library Journal. Thanks for being here, Laura.
No. Hi, everybody. I'm just waiting for my video. There we go. So I'm Laura Lutz, marketing manager at Workman Running Press Group, which is part of Hachette Book Group. And I'm super excited to share some of our latest titles from Workman Kids and Story Publishing with you today. These books engage new and young readers. And I also am going to be sharing a new series launch and some perennial favorites. So let's get started. Next slide, please. BrainQuest is America's #1 educational bestseller. We know the brand, we love it. I imagine a lot of us grew up with it. And we continue to work on meeting parents and educators' needs, which is why in January we published our first set of phonics readers. Next slide. Each of the 12 books in the set features familiar BrainQuest characters in a silly and sweet story that focuses on a specific literacy skill set. One of the things I really love is it's about half the titles are fiction stories, like going to the park or dancing, playing with your friends. And then the other half of the books are a bit more nonfiction based, about like tree habitats and bees. So I love the mix. Next slide. And the slide that I'm showing here features a scope and sequence of the set. And like all BrainQuest materials, each book in the box meets state and national standards. This set is available now, and Set B, featuring blends, vowels, and more, will publish in early 2027. Next slide. One of the things Workman Kids does best as a publisher is, and I'm biased obviously, but is creatively combining formats and genres to make truly interactive books. And that's the case for My First Seek and Learn at Home. Preschoolers build their bilingual vocabulary around their favorite topic, themselves and their environment. Next slide. Featuring 12 full-color scenes from inside and around the home, kids search for 10 or more items per page while learning essential everyday words in English and Spanish. As a former librarian myself, I love the way that the book can be shared both one-on-one between an adult and a child, as well as in a larger classroom setting or story time setting. Next slide. Oh, I forgot I have this one. Here's just another, I forgot that I included 3 slides from this book. But so in addition to the story and the Seek and Learn piece, there's also 2 spreads of this in the back, teaching you the different words, both in English and in Spanish. All right, next slide. Lots and lots of ocelots. How do you count lots and lots of ocelots? Or pile and piles of crocodiles? By ones, twos, fives, and tens. That's how. Young learners discover the magic of skip counting, a key math skill in elementary curriculum, via silly rhymes and memorable groupings of animals. Next slide. Engaging full art encourages little fingers to count along. Rhyming text encourages little voices to read along. And animal facts on every spread add an additional layer for rereading. Back matter includes more skip counting activities and math support. Next, please. Zombie spiders and asteroid blasters. Have you ever heard of a spider being turned into a useful robot or a real-life planetary defense team protecting the Earth from asteroids? It sounds like science fiction, but it's not. Take a wild ride into the wacky wonders of nature and technology that will wow all readers and inspire budding scientists to look at the world with fresh curiosity. Next slide. Interviews throughout the book highlight how scientists from a wide range of backgrounds are working to build a better future for our planet. This is a Junior Library Guild Gold Standard selection that SLJ called, quote, fun and fascinating. Maynard Okereke, who hosts the Hip Hop Science Show, is an absolute rock star, and we hope you'll check out his videos online as well. We recently just had him at the Texas Library Association conference, and he's just such a lovely human being, so it's always a pleasure to share this book with people. Next slide. What goes on inside a tide pool? In a tide pool along the central coast of California, what from afar looks like just a rocky outcropping comes to life with color and drama as a hermit crab searches for a new, larger shell. The crab must survive extreme conditions through the course of a tide cycle, encountering crashing waves, hungry predators, and a neighborhood of diverse animals in order to find their new home. Next slide. While following the crab's story through gorgeous paneled illustrations, I think it has like a cool, I want to show you this slide specifically because it has the illustrations and the photos next to each other, but also a lot of the spreads just have more of a graphic novel feel. While following the crab's story through gorgeous paneled illustrations, readers will also learn about the adaptations of a wide variety of creatures, why tides happen, the tide pool food web, and more through sidebars and photos. Again, my former life as a school librarian comes up because I would have loved to have had this series featuring wolves, beavers, crabs, and habitats available for my students. And I had so many students that would love to just like look through, like this is how they engage with books. It was like going to the nonfiction section and finding books that they could just flip through. So I think this would have been such a hit with my former students. But I'm so happy to have these books now and get to tell you all about them. Next slide. Oh, I'm so excited for this series. Actual Factual Files. It's a new nonfiction series for fans of Who and What Is who are looking for understandable, highly engaging, entertaining books for elementary school readers. We begin with Ancient Egypt and Outer Space, which are both coming out in June. Next slide. Each book in the series features short chapters, fun and bright illustrations, and a glossary in the back, and each stands alone and can be read in any order. What I really love about this series is that there's enough information to support nonfiction curriculum and research, while also being written in a really fun and entertaining way that curious kids will want to read like in their spare time. So like the Who and What Is, like it balances that really, really well. Each book is being published simultaneously in hardcover and paperback. And the next books in this series, Greek mythology and the Titanic, arrive in 2027. Next slide. I should ask the doctor, what do the colors of my boogers mean when I have a cold? If I hold my pee too long, can my bladder explode? Why do bruises change color? Kids have so many pressing questions about the stuff their bodies do and what happens when they're sick. Next slide. Pediatrician and children's book author Betty Choi gives honest answers to 53 curious questions in this kid-friendly Q&A with easy-to-follow fun comics by illustrator Janie Ho. Topics range from grub, guts, and glorious waste to silly senses and coughs, colds, and conundrums. In the process, Dr. Choi shows kids how amazing and resilient their bodies really are and that doctors are here to help. In its starred review, SLJ said this was, quote, entertaining, accessible, and thoughtfully crafted, an excellent addition to any children's medical reference collection. Next slide. World Without Birds. I am so excited to introduce a companion book to the best-selling World Without Fish by Mark Kurlansky. World Without Birds. Nearly 100 million Americans spend time bird watching every year, which is just insane to me. So this is the perfect time of year for this book. Organized by ecosystem, each chapter offers an overview of the birds in that environment, then case studies of both one avian species that has gone extinct and one whose numbers have recovered. So it really balances like the honesty and like the truth of what's happening based on environmental change, but also really balances it with optimism for readers of all ages because so many species have recovered thanks to conservation efforts. Next slide. A 2022, I just love this slide because like the flamingo is absolute magic. And so you can see it's like really graphic and really beautifully designed too. A 2022 U.S. Fish and Wildlife study identified 96 million Americans as bird watchers, which is 1 in 3 people. This book will teach readers what birds to look for in different ecosystems, offer deeper narratives about particular species, and encourage young birders to take action to protect birds. In its star review, Booklist said the book has, quote, weighty information, but Lund takes special care to highlight moments of hope and people's ability to course correct, ensuring birds continue making this planet a vibrant, beautiful place for all. Next slide. Did you hear what happened at the Alamo? In the 1820s, when Texas was still a part of Mexico, settlers from the United States began to pour into its vast and beautiful domain. They brought enslaved people, they brought covered wagons, chickens, and cannons, and they brought big ideas about freedom, politics, and what they should be allowed to do in their new land. Basically whatever they wanted. The Mexican government wasn't so sure about that, but as more and more settlers moved in, the big personalities, the rash decisions, and the grand proclamations piled up. And when these new Texans decided to declare independence, fighters like William Travis and David Crockett came forward to resist the proud General Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna and his army. Next slide. They would face off at an old church in San Antonio known as the Alamo with a funny and surprising first-person narrator. Did you hear what happened at the Alamo? Offers a brutally honest and wildly entertaining new account of the creation of Texas and the stories we tell about our history. And the chapter names are all absolutely hilarious, like this one too. Your buildings are ugly, and they talk about the buildings. Did you hear what happened in Salem? Came out last year. And look for, did you hear what happened at the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory? And did you hear what happened at Gettysburg in 2027? Next slide. And my last book is Who Got Game Football by award-winning author Derek Barnes. Football rules America. 41% of American adults say it's their favorite sport. But while you might know all the latest, do you even know the greatest? The players, coaches, change agents, and all-out legends who made the NFL what it is today. We're talking about Tom Brady, the 6th-round quarterback passed up by every team in the league who ended up becoming the GOAT. I mean, debatable. I'm not really a Patriots fan, but we can talk about that later. Joe Horn, who hid, I don't know, I remember this game, I don't know if you do, who hid a cell phone in the goalpost and used it after he scored a touchdown because he was that confident he could get to the end zone. John Madden, Peyton Manning, Deion Sanders, they're all here for you to discover. Next page, or sorry, next slide. By the time you finish this book, you'll have an advanced degree in football facts. So get ready to flip through the pages, take meticulous notes, and highlight those amazing stories and hard to believe facts that will make your friends crown you a football genius because you are Game Time Baby. And don't forget the previous 2 books in the series for all your baseball and basketball fans. Next slide. And that is it for me. My contact info is all here on the slide, so feel free to reach out to me for anything or any questions. Enjoy the rest of the webinar and the rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Laura. Our final presenter will be Ellen Myrick. Ellen is the founder and president of Publisher Spotlight, your discovery spot for the best of the best from international and independent presses. She currently serves on the executive board of the United States Board on Books for Young People and is a frequent webinar host and presenter. She will talk books to anyone, as airplane seatmates can attest. What do you have for us today, Ellen?
Oh, so much, Julia. Thank you. So we have books from 5 different publishers to show us today, and let's get started with my first big book of pets from Ruby Tuesday Books. They are distributed by Lerner Books, but you can get any of these books I'm going to tell you about today from your favorite wholesaler. That's always the thing you have to do. Check out this great list of contents. It's not just cats and dogs, and often, come on. Dogs and cats and pets of kids can be their gateway into reading and becoming a lover of books. So this can be the way to get them to really want to read more. This has also got information about pet care. If you did not go, "Aw," on some of these slides, and I'm kind of worried about you, but maybe not on the turtle, but that's okay. And look at this pet words instead of glossary, how clever this is. So this is alpacas and goldfish and hamsters and more, and there's back matter. Hey, let's play a drinking game. Every time I say the word back matter, feel free to take a swig, okay? And a comprehensive glossary with very clever page organization. Next up, we also have more books from the big books list. And then also we've got I Can Be Money Smart. So personal financial literacy is hard. Can you ever start too young? Helping to understand that. This is from Ruby Tuesday Books as well. And this has got great information. We have Smart Spending and Brilliant Budgeting, which has real world scenarios that help kids put ideas into practice, introduces concepts and workings of everyday financial tools like credit cards and banks, and it's aimed at early elementary students. So this is a wonderful new series, and there is also a series for older kids called Money and You that we had at the Social Studies Conference this year, and I thought that they were just going to eat these up with a spoon. They love them so much. So lots of great information in these. In fact, I think the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta added this to their education curriculum. So moving on. We have Earth's Smallest Superheroes. I mean, tardigrades are the cutest of the smallest creatures on the planet, right? So yes, there is a tardigrade on almost every page in this book. Here's the table of contents. And this book will tell you everything about tardigrades. It has all this fabulous microscopic photography, includes a day in the life of a tardigrade. You didn't know you wanted to know that, but you do. It's got longevity, other fascinating facts, and great back matter. Take a swig. And also including glossary and index. They also have in the same series plankton, bees, and microbes. So there you go. Next up from Ruby Tuesday, we have Home, Sweet Amazing Home. There seem to be a few hermit crabs in this presentation, maybe because that's such a common classroom pet. So this includes captions and call-outs and quizzes galore. This is just a really fun series for those kids who are interested in this kind of content. And the other ones in this series include Weaver Birdstown, Green Tree Ant's New Nest, and Beaver's Lodge. So that is a series from Home Sweet Home. You may notice that this book is written by Ruth Owens. Many of these have been. I just want to tell you, Ruth Owen is a real person. Okay, she has written over 1,000 books when I last checked on iPage, and she is a real living, breathing human being. She is not something else. So I just wanted to make sure you knew that. So World's Best Animal Dad, Seahorses. So I mean, is there a better animal dad? They actually, carry the baby, which is kind of amazing. This is simple, action-filled text. Dads are finally getting their due with this. Interesting insight into parental relationships in the animal kingdom. And did you know a baby seahorse is actually called a fry? I didn't know that until I read this book. Beautiful back matter. Take a swig. This series also includes gorillas, penguins, and lions. Oh my. So moving on to Flower Pot Press. So Flower Pot Press is based in the US and in Canada, and they have 2 series we're going to talk about today. The first up is Why do plants love the sun? Why do liquids slip inside? These are questions that have to be answered in this gorgeous format that explores STEM topics in this fun Q&A way. So these are written by field specialists who have special education know-how, which we love. And this, as you can see, there are lots of points of entry, lots of call outs, lots of labels, lots of captions. perfect for those kids who just really want to engage. And the other books in this series include Why Do Okapis Look So Funny? I mean, don't we all kind of wonder about that? Why do roosters crow early in the morning? Yes, I'm bitter about that. Why do camels have such long eyelashes? And why can't I? And why do crabs walk sideways? So those are just a few of the others in that series. And next up, we have the How Do series. Now, there are 48 books in this series so far, and they keep getting reviewed and they keep getting stars. And actually, they've even won a Mathical. How do you become president? Well, this is how you should become president, in case you're wondering. It has a presidential checklist, and it also talks about supreme rulers around the world and the history of kings and monarchs and prime ministers and all that, put into this great context with all these wonderful illustrations and also great information that provides, gives kids lots of different reasons to keep reading. So this other one here is How Do You Make Your Own Luck, which is about probability. And this is another follow-up to How Does Data Become Drawings, which is a Mathical Award winner. So great information in these as well. So they have done, as I said, 48 of these. These are fascinating books and kids adore them. And they're available both paperback and hardcover. So I love having that flexibility. Next up from Beetle Books, we have Big Questions Answered. Can crabs and crustaceans survive anywhere? What I love about these books is you'll see it says to discover the science behind carcinology. So it has the big question posed, and then it has what the science is on the book as well. So that's going to be scaffolded according to where the kids are. Fantastic illustrations, lots of great information, and presented in a really attractive, accessible format. So that is the Big Questions Answered series. And here are just a few of them because there are 40 of these so far, and they just keep making more. And you can see some of the things on here, and you can't because it's really, really tiny. But yes, all these different kinds of sciences are covered. So moving on. We have How to Build a Human, which is from Beetle Books, which is part of the Tomorrow's World series, which is adjacent to graphic nonfiction. There are graphic nonfiction elements. It's set up like a notebook as you're reading through it. So really, really super fun to read. Lots of great information that is presented in a very child-friendly format. And you can get an idea. So this is just one of the ones. And this, of course, is all about the human body. And then we have several other ones that are also included in this. And they have these mini quizzes at the end of every chapter. It's a great way to entice dormant readers. I like that better than reluctant readers, don't you? Because they just haven't found the right book yet. This might be the right book. And here are some of the other ones: Journey Through the Mind, Secrets Beneath the Waves, Animal Intelligence Unleashed. Yes, I will never eat octopus again. Mind versus Machine, Ultimate Space Quest, and How to Build a Human, and The Rise of the Robots. So that is Tomorrow's World. Next up, from Nosy Crow. We love a nosy crow. We have How to Be a Soccer Star. Gosh, I wonder if they did this because the World's Cup is coming up just around the corner. So this is a series that is written by women who are experts in their field. In this case, it's a woman who was on the England national team. And it is not just about soccer and how soccer works. It's about all the jobs associated with the soccer industry. So you might learn about, being a team manager. You might learn about being the different positions on the field, but you also might learn about being a sports broadcaster and all those kinds of things. So it's just in time for FIFA. Rachel Yankee, as I said, was on the England national team. And here are some of the other books in that series. There's How to Be a Soccer Star, of course, How to Be a Vet, How to Be a Detective, How to Be a Doctor, How to Be an Astronaut. And if you haven't checked these out, please do. And they are so popular whenever I've had them at conferences. People just eat them up with a spoon. And last but not least, Dogs in Art. So this is coming to us from Helvetique, which is a publisher based in Switzerland. And these books originated in France. And this covers dogs as they've appeared in art from ancient times up through now. What I love about this art, you also have the snarky cat who tells you all about the art in each one of these, which if you don't have a snarky cat being your storyteller, what is life worth? So I love how we have the poker playing dogs in this. You do know immediately what art it's referencing, but it does it in a way that is not going to be a copyrightable offense, which I think is fantastic. So this is Dogs in Art, and this is a follow-up to a book called Dogs Who Work. I kind of like the French title better, which was Jobs de Ouf. Let me know if you agree. And this is, as I said, from Helvetique, who is so good at illustrated nonfiction. If you haven't checked out their books, please do. And as I said, all of these books are easily available from whomever you like to buy books from here in the United States. So that is what I got for you. Thank you so much. Feel free to follow us on all the social media if you like books from smaller publishers that are coming from around the world. And my name is Ellen Myrick. Contact me at ellen@publisherspotlight.com. Thank you so much to everybody and all these amazing books we've heard about today. And thank you, Booklist.
Thank you so much, Ellen. And a huge thank you to all of our wonderful panelists. Tomorrow, all attendees will receive an email containing links to today's video recording, slide presentation, title list, and a certificate of completion. For more about Booklist webinars, be sure to visit booklistonline.com/webinars, where you can view archives of past webinars and register for upcoming ones like those you see here. You can also find out about the latest webinars on our social channels. 150 years of empowering library professionals, advancing access to knowledge, and protecting the freedom to read. Since 1876, the American Library Association has embodied America's aspiration for knowledge and democracy, championing the professionals who make that promise real every day. Scan the QR code on the screen or visit ala150.org to find out how you can join us in helping to shape the next 150 years of libraries. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. A huge thank you to our panelists and sponsors, DK, Cherry Lake Publishing, The Child's World, Hachette Book Group, and Publisher Spotlight. This concludes today's webinar. See you next time.